Alright, it's high time we crack the business case. Let's start by taking a look at the net we're going to deal with. Here, we have an input layer consisting of 10 units. Those are the inputs from our CSV. As you can see, there are only 2 output nodes as there are only 2 possibilities, 0 and 1. We will build a net with 2 hidden layers. The number of units in each layer will be 50, but as we know very well, this is extremely easy to change. Therefore, for a prototype of an algorithm, 50 is a good value. Let me explain in more detail. 50 hidden units in the hidden layers provide enough complexity, so we expect the algorithm to be much more sophisticated than, say, a linear or logistic regression. At the same time, we don't want to put too many units initially, as we want to complete the learning as fast as possible and see if anything is being learned at all. Alright, it's coding time! First, we import NumPy once again, as we have not imported it in this notebook. Then we should import TensorFlow as TF. So far, so good. The next logical step is to load the data. To make things easier, I'll declare a temporary variable called NPZ that will store each of the 3 datasets as we load them. Now, to load the train data, we use npload and the name of the train dataset. So, audiobooks, data, train, NPZ. You probably remember that we saved the NPZs in 2-tuple form, comprising inputs and targets. Let's start from the inputs and extract them into a new variable called train inputs. Until now, they were stored in the NPZ under the keyword inputs, so we call them as NPZ square brackets inputs. As mentioned earlier in our TensorFlow intro, these keywords can be any string like rad1, rad2, or even frog, mouse, etc. Finally, to make sure our model learns correctly, we expect all inputs to be floats. Therefore, we must ensure that by employing the method asType to indicate that the inputs are of the type np.float. Great! In a similar way, we extract the train targets from NPZ using the keyword targets. Now, our targets are 0s and 1s, but we are not completely certain if they'll be extracted as integers, floats, or booleans. It's good practice to use the same method asType and make sure their data type will be npint, even if we know in what format we save them. Alright, we've got our train inputs and targets. What about the validation and test? Well, we start by loading the next NPZ, namely audiobooks data validation, in the temporary variable NPZ. Then we proceed in a similar way to extract the validation inputs and targets, making sure of their data types. I'll leave the test dataset for homework, so you can practice independently. Finally, note that unlike before, our train, validation, and test data is simply an array form instead of the iterators we use for the MNIST. In this business example, we will train our model with simple everyday arrays. See you in the next lesson, where we will create the model. Thanks for watching.